how well does voice or empowering communities to actually be part of local decision making reduce poverty. I did my work in Lagos, Nigeria, and Benin City, Nigeria, looking at access to water by households, and I used Hirschman's exit voice and loyalty framework to understand how do households cope with a lack of access and their dissatisfaction with publicly provided services. All of the policies national leaders were implementing in Africa were not focused on the well-being of people. They were focusing on increasing GDP. Whatever the intervention, how well does it actually impact the lives of people? This is the vision for the future of Lagos. It's a largely privately funded effort to build a city off the coast that's exclusively for the wealthy. It's kind of preemptive displacement, right? They're creating a new enclave in the city and already planning for people not to have access to it. So we have to understand what we mean by urbanization in African cities and how that affects the possibilities for service delivery and well-being. And they're all geared towards kind of the elite, but there's not a vision of equitable urban development or pro-poor urban development in any of these. There are areas that were previously marked for slum upgrading are being raised, pitting development against poverty. Scarcity is often manufactured through political processes and institutions that disadvantage the poor. This is the beginning of the idea of getting to root causes. The problem of access to water has not lacked for attention, but we still haven't been able to solve it. A lot of the way we measure access has to do with distance to the source, but not whether it's running 24/7. So what is it that's holding us back? What are the barriers? It has to do with how people are able to form their assets and capabilities, to use Amartya Sen's term, into what they need to get what they need to survive. So there's all these root causes of poverty, and also there are other things associated with poverty in terms of the inability to translate your demand for quality services, for basic services, into what you need because you don't have money, you don't have resources. Who uses voice, right? And that gives you a clue in terms of who has power, who expects their voice to be heard. Arguing with institutional voice, with the way the system works, who it responds to, whose voice counts, and that those are things that should be part of our anti-poverty interventions. The state can actually inflict violence on its citizens through its policies around infrastructure. They call it infrastructural violence, by determining who gets services and who doesn't, right? You determine who lives and dies. In what way there is a right to water, how can it be implemented in a way that can improve access to water? A lot of work needs to be done. Just by passing a law that says water is a human right doesn't automatically mean people actually get access to water.